That's why sometimes when I hear comments like, "Oh, disqualified," I'm like, "Shut up! I was disqualified from a show because I broke the rules of the show. I'm not disqualified in life. Are you joking?" The mistake I even think I made was I went to Big Brother house and I left who I was outside the door before I walked into that house. But that is the biggest mistake that I've ever made in my life because
My Beautiful Life is, I don't know if I'll say an interesting reality show. We just started, so I won't call it interesting yet. Yes. So I'll just leave it there. So the show started 2 weeks ago. The 2 weeks are like, we have 2 episodes so far, and I'll be talking about these 2 episodes on this video. So I don't know why. She is actually an interesting person to watch to an extent. Having to see her life, her work life, and everything. It's not so boring. But I want to talk about why at show MultiChoice decided to choose Beauty Tukura over every other contestant who were on the show this last season. We had the Big Brother Niger's last season that was in 2022, and they had like, was it 28? There was so much. And Beauty Tukura was someone who was disqualified the very first 2 weeks of the show. So why is she the one who was able to get a reality TV show from MultiChoice and not other? Like even the winner, not the winner final. You know, so I feel probably because she was disqualified along the line, like very early, and they know fully well that she's one of these contestants on the show who had so much fan base, who had so much people who would be ready to watch this show. And the fact that probably her fans were not able to see so much of her while she was on the show, she spent just 2 weeks, she had so much fans, and probably giving her this show will actually make people get to see her, understand her, and maybe if she can also correct her wrong and perception which people do see her from, or the way people actually see her. There's this narrative of her being toxic, and just judging from the 2 weeks which she was on the show, then coming to see probably a reality show, maybe that's will correct wrong. But for someone like me, if I have that mindset that she's toxic, watching her on that show and having to watch this show which is not, I know it's still like a reality TV show, but you cannot actually kind of compare the level of unscript, I don't know if I'll say unscriptedness of a show like Big Brother to a show which, like, you guys understand now, like, to this kind of reality TV show. So I feel to an extent she can actually put out the best character on the show and make it and make people see her as a better person. But it's actually very wonderful that she had the show, and her fans will get to know her or see her and understand her. It's an interesting one. So let me talk about the first episode. For the first episode, they actually show everything that comes with the how she had her photo shoot and all of that. And it's like a very wonderful thing. And actually really put in so much into this production, and it's so wonderful. I've been saying and a lot. Highlights from the first episode, we had this part where JMK visited her and they actually discussed about um having like how she was disqualified from the show and how she felt after the disqualification. And I actually like Beauty for one thing because she was very apologetic about everything and what she did on the show. And it's a very interesting something to see because some people can actually know that they've done this, but they are not apologetic about it. But for Beauty, it's different. While she and GMK had this conversation, GMK actually talked about how her parents feel like, is this who our child is? Like, is this a character she had always portrayed to her friends? Or like they cannot believe that is who their child is, having to watch the reality TV show. Then she felt like then she actually discussed how she felt so bad and she was kind of down for everything that had happened, but she just had to bring herself up and just see herself beyond just this disqualification and realize that she can make more out of life beyond a disqualification, which is actually something very good. And when she actually made this comment, there was a lot of reactions that comes with it because people are dragging her that she's just spoiled, she's just toxic, and even like she have no excuse to say like she was disqualified for a bad habit and the rest. But I feel like people make mistakes, people do things that are wrong, but in as much as they are admitting that, yeah, I've done this thing wrong, I think that's one thing. If you could admit that what I've done is wrong, what you've done is wrong, I think that's one major thing which we give these people, which will just make you understand that they will not do that again. Because if someone had done something wrong and they are not like remorseful about it, they do not see it as something bad. That means they will do more of that. But if someone is feeling bad about what they must have done, that means they have conscience, and I don't think they want to do that again. So that's that. Then they had it's a very interesting one, that like the very first episode. Then she also saw Adekunle came over, and there was this wonderful friendship they had. Then for the episode 2, she hosted the housemates, that's like housemates from the last season from her set. They came around, they had this wonderful party. We saw a good number of the housemates there, and she had this conversation with Khalid where she was talking about how it just go off and just probably, and I feel like probably the guy is passing through so much which was not um kind of discussed. We don't know how detailed how bad it is, but I understand that there are times where you just want to go off, or like you just want to be out of this drama, out of everything. So I think for Khalid, he was passing through that stage of his life. Then this another highlight was how she met with was his name Brian. And for Brian, Brian actually played her music, his music to her, and it was a very wonderful one. And I actually did like the song, having like hearing it. Like the song had been out ever since, but I've not even taken time to go and listen to the song. I'm not a fan of Brian, but coming to watch this show and listening to the song, it's not so bad, and it seemed very unique. It's unique. It's the kind of song that I can relate to in the way when I'm saying I can relate to, the trend we have with songs. But there are these trends that come with songs, and how people just try to diversify into other type of, like say, category of music. Like, that song had a bit, I don't know if I'm making sense. It seemed a bit Fuji or something like that. But it's not like the regular. I just feel like it's like the new type of song which people are now like. It's still Afrobeat, it's still Afrobeat, but there's a bit of thing that make it seem unique, that make it different. And I feel that's like the type of music Nigerian artists are now doing now. We have She Vibes, how he does his songs now. We have this thing, but this Brian's own is actually interesting. It seems unique, it seems so original. So that's for Brian. And Brian and Beauty Tukura had a very wonderful relationship on the show. And it's interesting to see that they have this same great relationship. Then she actually there was this branding and the rest, how she had to go for collaborations with Beauty by AD, and also having to pick a PA. Then it's just so interesting how those two guys who came late were not even interviewed because they were late. It's just so bad, like they need to, like, lateness is something that I can actually ruin you. So it's so bad for them, and I felt bad for them. And the reason why I'm laughing is like I'm someone that always go late too. I do things late. I go late too. So it's just so funny. So this is all I'll be saying I'll be discussing about Beauty Tukura, My Beautiful Life. It's an interesting one. Beauty had an interesting life to actually watch on TV, so it's not a bad one. So I'm looking forward to episode 3. Yes, and that's all. Bye for now. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Okay.